melody that we all know and bring it into the 21st century, but still really be respectful of what Jerry Goldsmith had originally written.
Okay, let's roll it.
I want it to be a celebration of all the great movies Universal's done over the years. Connecting the past with the present, the main line that we've always heard in the horns, that's still there, but you have the movement of the music underneath it. I had a few sneak peeks at the visuals that were being worked on, the glow coming in and the letters spinning around and seeing the cityscapes. That was a huge influence for me. To add choir. There's also kind of a sparkly, shimmery type of thing throughout the piece that I've done with violins. And it gives it kind of the magic feel. And at the end of the piece, I have a whole drum cadence.
The thing that I think people really latch onto is the bass drum there.
I use drums from around the world, like djembes and African drums. And I thought that was kind of a nice way to bring that idea of Universal Pictures being global.
Very nice. Give me chills.
It's pretty incredible that every time I now see a film by Universal, I'll hear the logo music that I conducted. It cues you in to say, okay, put away the phone, stop eating your popcorn for a split second, pay attention. It's a huge honor.
Special effects show here at Universal Studios Hollywood! Woo! Hey, my name is Chris McKenzie. Today you will get a behind-the-scenes peek into how we make movie magic. You already know the word movie is a nickname for motion pictures, and in the early days of filmmaking, it must have truly seemed like magic. In the late 1800s, the Pettibone Brothers Manufacturing Company began producing magic lanterns like this one, which were widely used by traveling showmen projecting images onto white backdrops. Just for a moment, imagine what that must have been like. Sitting in a darkened tent, suddenly the white backdrop is revealed and illuminated with a single image. Then, when seen in the right light, the right order, and at the right speed, that image came to life to create a magical new world. Making movies on this very location for over 100 years. During that time, we have turned out some of the most memorable film moments in the history of Hollywood.
Hold on to your butts.
Oh, bad thing! Good stuff. Please keep it going for my co-host, Gary!
Oh yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Chris. From the very beginning, the basic concept of the filmmaking process has always remained the same. To make you, the audience, believe that everything that you see is real.
Today's filmmakers have more tools than ever before. High-tech cameras, super fast computers, but they still rely on a category of effects so distinctive, they're known as special.
And the earliest form of special effects are called practical effects, which are effects that are shot on set in front of the camera. And our first example of practical effects is models. Universal's 1932 film The Mummy made use of miniature effects, including scale models, like that one from its opening. And you can tell that's model because if you look closely, the real pyramids do not say The Mummy. Universal relaunched The Mummy, and believe it or not, that Sphinx that you see there is this Sphinx model that you see here. This is the actual model that was used in the making of that film. And the attention to detail, incredible. The hieroglyphics, the scaffolding. I think Chris would agree that models are still a great way to fool a camera.
Absolutely. Another filmmaking technique that fools the camera is the glass matte. But in the terrifying film The Birds, the brilliant Alfred Hitchcock had matte paintings created to achieve the eerie look he wanted for the town of Bodega Bay. Take a look at this literal bird's eye view of the town. The parking lot and the fire are real. Everything else was hand-painted onto a single sheet of glass to create a glass matte that was then placed in front of the lens while they were filming. Later, footage of the birds was incorporated to complete the effect.
All very cool stuff. So we've shown you two examples of practical effects, models and glass matte.
But there's another category of practical effect that involves performers, not just props. Practical stunts.
Someone say stunts.
Please welcome our amazing special effects show stunt department!
Well, I like that, Chris. Lauren came flying in over there. Justin was zipping in over there. How come you and I didn't get a fancy entrance like that?
Because we're wearing nice pants. You may not recognize their faces, but I guarantee you have seen their work in countless television and film productions, oftentimes doubling for some of your favorite celebrities. Let me give you a quick introduction. Over here we have Alex Bonquier. This is Lauren Wynn, and our stunt coordinator, Mr. Justin Chambers. Good to see you guys. Justin, got a question for you, buddy. Is it true stunt performers almost always double for actors when it comes to stunts?
Absolutely. Actors don't like getting kicked in the face.
Wait a minute. Kicked in the face.
Like this.
Oh! Oh, is he okay?
Woo! Yeah.
You people are crazy. Go set up. Nope, none of that. None of that. Go set up. When it comes to staging a fight, the art of illusion is very important. The moves need to be realistic enough to fool the camera without injuring anyone. Then it's up to the stunt performers to make them look believable. Let me set the scene. Exterior, a dark alley, dead of night. Two nefarious characters that pick the wrong woman to mess with. Ready and action. Out there should try on their own.
That is correct.
Alright, this guy's a little later. Good job, stunt team. Here are the sound effects that were added to that scene, the dynamic punches, the dumpster hits. There's actually a term for adding sound effects to movies.
It's called foley. You've probably heard the term foley before. It's the process of adding sounds to films after they've been shot. But how familiar are you with its origins? Jack Foley, he wore many hats. He was a writer, he was a director, he was even a stunt double. But it's when he began producing sound effects for Universal Studios in the early 20s that he truly began to make a name for himself. For over 30 years, he worked here on the lot at Soundstage 10. And if he couldn't recreate a sound on stage, then he would go out and get it live. In fact, he invented a technique called direct picture, in which he would add sound effects to finished films all in one take. And you had to be completely in sync with the action on the screen, because if you made one mistake, then you had to start all over again. And to help us imagine what that must have been like, please welcome our first volunteer!
From Indonesia, Denver, Sela, the Widiani family! All right!
Thanks for helping us out, guys. They are going to demonstrate how these ordinary items can be repurposed to sound like something completely different than what you guys might think. For example, this water bottle could be used to articulate the sound of bones breaking. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? And you kids can try that at home, because parents love it when children pretend to break their bones. Take a look at your side screens. We're going to show you a split screen. On one side, you're going to see the hit comedy Identity Thief with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. On the other side, you're going to see Universal's Foley artists hard at work.
Now I have a plan.
Oh yeah, that looks easy, right? We'll find out. It's a clip that they are going to Foley. But first, let's talk about the tools that we have up here on the stage. For Dia, she's got a crash box. It's a wooden box that's going to make the sound of crashes. She also has some sneakers. Those will sound like running. For Isabel, she's got 2 reams of paper and a cutting board. Those will sound like bodies are hitting the ground. For Auden, he's got 2 boxing gloves. Those will sound like the punch in the throat and the slaps on the face. Then down here at the end, we've got a cowbell. This will be used for the moment where the panini maker hits Melissa McCarthy in the back of the shoulder. And then this is where we get crazy. Really use your imaginations here, because these handcuffs are going to sound like handcuffs. Thank you, that to you. All right, you guys ready to do this? You'll be watching this big old monitor right down here. All right? If you guys are ready up in the booth, let's roll sound, speed, and action.
Nice! Give her a round of applause! Well done, guys! Come with me!
Good job, Isabel. That's fantastic. I think we got almost every single sound effect in there. I love their buddy on the boxing gloves. It looked like he was dancing at a wedding. Stand along this line right here, guys. Now, you probably noticed that the clip seemed kind of empty. Well, now we're going to put in their sound effects, and we're going to hear how they did. Take a look and listen.
Get over here and give me your wrist. Okay? Now I have a plan.
Perfect. Good. All right. How about the big finish? Nailed it! Oh, good job.
Young lady, it's time to quit school and move to Hollywood. Identity Thief, wonderful Universal comedy. Over the decades, the studio has made memorable films in every genre, but we really left our mark with some of the scariest thriller and horror films. Check it out. And all those scenes were created using very special horror effects. Emerging from the shadows behind me are my cats of some of Universal's most famous monsters from our classic monster family. Let's take a look. We have Chucky and his bride, Dracula, Michael Myers. Over there, Imhotep the Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, and of course, Mother Bates, the perfect setting to demonstrate a horror effect.
That's right, joining us all the way Wahoo! Everyone say hi, Raina!
Hi, Raina! Raina was selected because she has a very distinctive scream. Let me show you what I mean. Raina, you've just checked into the Bates Motel. You're shampooing your hair. The shower curtain flies open. There's Norman Bates. How would you scream? Nice! Wow! Have you been murdered before?
Oh.
Never! Find that hard to believe. We saw that fight scene. Stunt performers have a very high tolerance to pain. Raina, the question is, do you?
Well, do you?
This next demonstration involves movie blood. Does anyone know what Alfred Hitchcock used for movie blood in Psycho? Yell it out if you know.
Oh, who said chocolate syrup? I said, or that was you? Well, then you win knowledge. That's right, chocolate syrup, because Psycho was a black and white film, so it didn't matter what color the blood was back then. But nowadays, movie blood has to be much more realistic.
Raina, thank you for lending us a hand.
Literally! Now, it's at this point in the show where I need to remind the kids, please, do not try this at home.
Try it at a friend's house. Hold still, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Here we go. Oh,
What?
You're not really going to use machete on Raina.
No.
No, okay.
Check out the side screens. We're gonna chop off her arm with this knife because it's much, much sharper. It's okay, you're young, it'll grow right back, I promise. Here we go. Count of 3, ready to scream. Hold still. 1, 2, 3, scream! Hollywood blood knife. It's completely fake. But the acting was very, very real, especially the giggling at the end. That was my favorite part. Check out the side screen, show you how this works. False blade, notch cut out for her arm on the back. That is a bowl full of movie blood. Squeeze it, it makes a huge mess. It just goes everywhere, but that's okay, because it's Eric's job to clean the whole thing up.
Raina was amazing. Give him a round of applause. Raina, go ahead and take that lab coat off. I'll take that for you. You've been great so far. That's good news. The bad news, Chris, I got some of that blood in my pants here, pal. Yeah, why don't I give you her phone? I'll be right back, all right?
Take that right over here. Step over here with me if you would. Open this up to your camera app. We're going to let you take a picture with some of Universal's most famous monsters. So bring it right over here. If you stand right here for me, Raina. Face forward. Make sure you have light on your face. It's the most important thing. Excellent. All right, here's what I want from you. Hands in the air like you're in a scary movie. On the count of 3, one last big, huge Hollywood scream. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bad Michael Myers! Go home, Michael, go home! No, I wouldn't do that either. We found another gear on that scream though, didn't we? Who knew you had that in you? Wow! You should have seen the look on your face. Well, wait a minute, we can! Look at that! Raina, that looks amazing! You met Michael Myers and you live, that means you're going to be in the sequel. Congratulations. This is why you have no friends. Someone had to tell her. We've seen a lot of great practical effects. We're going to switch gears, take a look at some very cool visual effects. Any special effect that's created using a computer. To help me demonstrate motion capture or mocap, please welcome back my co-host, Eric!
I look like Lady Gaga.
A Star is Born. You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's bring up our perimeter sensors. The markers on Eric's suit are reflecting light into these perimeter sensors where their movement will be captured by our computer. Can we see our capture on the screens? All right. Excellent. Dots on the suit have been translated into this digital skeleton. That's what the computer reads and records for us in real time. Do me a favor? Arms out to the side. Where we start with the T-pose to signal the beginning of a take. That way our editors will know exactly. Okay, what are you doing, Eric? You saw that? Yes.
Gross.
You're right. Take your finger, touch your nose. Give me both sides twice, nice and slow. This is how we calibrate our system. Make sure we have a good, strong connection between our suit, the sensors, and our computer. That looks very, very good. Yeah, if you're done, you can put your arms out. But I need constant movement. So I want like jumping jacks, jog in place, whatever you got, but don't stop moving, okay? Using Eric's capture movements, animators can manipulate the digital skeleton. They can play with the aspect ratio, apply a wireframe. Finish it off with digital skins. They can turn Eric into whatever they want. Today, buddy, they have turned you into a lovable, huggable teddy bear.
A teddy bear? Well, that's adorable. Check it out. Cool.
No. You're not just any teddy bear. You're Ted from Universal's Ted! You want to dance? You got music, Larry? What you got? Perfect. Cheerleader the 10, really bring the character to life.
All right, well, how about a little bit of that?
Love it. What else you
How
got?
about a little something for the ladies?
We definitely got enough of those. Thank you. Ted, buddy, you're a big Hollywood movie star. What do you think of our show so far, huh?
That's why I watch these things. It's like a cool behind the scenes thing that you wouldn't know.
Thunder Buddies, Ted?
Thunder Buddies for life.
Look at that. You made a Thunder Buddy. That's Ted. That's Eric. Give them both a round of applause. Fun fact, Seth MacFarlane had a modified mocap suit built by Phil Tippett Studios so he could act and direct at the same time. Let's take a look at the genius behind Ted in action.
We were able to do Ted in a completely lifelike way and to use technology in a way that it really hasn't been used to date. What that technology does so well is it takes fantastical characters and makes them as realistic in movement as possible.
Funny stuff. But as far as technology has come with visual effects and CGI, some things still look better when they're real, like fire. Let's take a look at some fire stunts from Universal Films. One of the most exciting yet most dangerous aspects of filmmaking, without a doubt, is a fire stunt. We are going to bring our top-notch stunt department back out here to show you guys how to execute a live fire burn. Here they come, the woman in the middle. That is Lauren Wynn. She is the stunt performer who is about to be set on fire. She is joined by Alex Bonquier and our stunt coordinator, Justin Chambers, who will be acting as her safety. As you can see, Lauren's applied something to her face. It's not the latest Hollywood beauty cream. It's a protective fire gel, and she applies it to all of her exposed skin. You probably know how comfortable it is to miss a spot with sunblock. Well, imagine what it must feel like to miss a spot when you're on fire. Not good. Safeties are standing by the fire extinguishers in case of premature ignition. Looks good.
See, Mac, we're ready. Fuel?
Go right ahead.
When you ready? Alex, you set? Billy.
Upon completion of the burn, Lauren will move down to this fire blanket where she will be extinguished. At this point, we're looking for thumbs up that she's okay. Thumbs down is a sign to get our medical team involved. Also, excellent time for me to point out that these are trained stunt professionals using specialized equipment. This is not the type of thing anyone should ever think about trying on their own. Looks like Lauren's just wearing a pair of jeans and a shirt. In truth, she has other safety layers that give her added protection. Nothing's going to make her fireproof, but each layer buys her time when she needs it the most. We're hoping she can burn for about 8 to 10 seconds today. That's our goal. I think we're about ready to go. Let's take our lights down, set our clock to 0. At this time, I do need to ask that everybody please remain seated for the duration of this stunt. Stunt team, whenever you're ready.
Alex, you ready? Ready. When ready to burn?
Ready.
Ready and action.
Lighting. You're lit. You're up.
Ask the folks down front, it got a little warm, didn't it? Okay, how are we going to top that? How about this? Let's create a scene that is truly out of this world. And we'll do it with our final 2 volunteers. Right this way, you two. All the way from Texas and Ireland on their honeymoon. Please give it up for JB and Shannon! Welcome, ready, you two. I hate to take your hands apart, but I got to stand in here. JB, I got some bad news. We are not going to light you on fire. I'm sorry we did that already, but you're dressed as an astronaut because you're going to outer space, so head right that way with Justin. He'll get you ready to go. You come with me, young lady, and you stand right there for me, because have I got a surprise for you. This is our Fisher flying rig. It's a highly sophisticated, computer-controlled cable system that we use to create the illusion of flight. Very high-tech, very expensive. You are going to be in control of this. But don't worry, there's an app for that. On our iPad, we have the remote control to the Fisher flying rig. You are going to set your new husband's height using that green bar right there. Once he's in the air, you'll control him with this pink grid. Wherever you move your finger is where he is going to go. She's got a big smile on her face there, yeah. How long have the two of you actually been married? A week! Yeah! That is a long time in Hollywood. You're doing a good job. You guys will make it for sure. Go ahead, slide your hand up right through there. Don't touch anything. I'll be right back, okay? JB, buddy, you are about to blast off into outer space. Do you have any final words for your wife, Shannon, before you go? He says he loves you very much. That's what he said. What? Oh, he also said you guys should go shoe shopping in Beverly Hills tomorrow. You're gonna buy her shoes in Beverly Hills? He says money is no object. You get what you want. You have been married for 1 week. You have so much to learn, trust me. We also need outer space. We're going to rear project the backplate of a space station onto the screen behind it. That looks fantastic. We're ready to go. So you can take that green, move it halfway up. Take the green bar. Yep. Right in the middle. Perfect. That looks good. All right. We got him in outer space. That's the toughest part. I'm going to turn him on here so he's facing the space station. Okay, that is not what an astronaut looks like. Do me a favor, JB, can you push your shoulders back? Feet down, and then push your shoulders back. Hard as you can, big push. Yes, you got it. Woo! Very nice. It looks very natural, doesn't it? Doing a good job. All right, we're ready to go, so you're going to take the pink and move it right up that way. There you go, a little more, right to there is good. And there he is. Wave to the space station, Captain. All right, we lost him. We're going to go back and do take 2. Wait right here. I got you, big guy. Feet down, shoulders back. There you go. Strong. Show me strong. All right, we're ready to go. So go ahead and take the pink and move it around a little this time. Not too fast, but have some fun. We wanted to wind up where the moon is. Oh, that's a little high. Can you bring him down? Straight down. That's not down. Are you mad at your husband? What are you doing? Hang on. Give me your thing. Keep this right, okay? All right, we're going to land you right over. JB, look for my hand. You're coming down, okay? There you go. I love you too, bro. He is smiling. That's a very good sign. You are all done, okay? We're going to unhook you. No! Shannon, if you didn't want to get married, you should have said something. Give me this. What is going on? Hang on, let's get us back online. We'll override, he's coming down. We're in good shape. All right, remember, feet down, shoulders back. Push your back hard as you can. Your husband is a show-off. Come over here. Come right here. Let me go get him for you. Dude, your wife just tried to kill you. You okay? Go give her a hug. You did a good job. You're all done right over there. As we said before, the idea behind special effects. And the audience believe what they see is real.
Hi.
Whoa, everybody! Give it up for my partner in crime! Keep it going for all of our great volunteers. Thanks for stopping by, folks. We'll see you in the movies and enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. Bye, everybody.